Good morning, friends. It's good to be together. And you might test this. Rich said that this is, when he spoke earlier, he said it's the last time you'll hear me say I love you for the rest of this year. So I challenge that you say to him on the way out, I love you, Rich. And we'll see what he says. I want to invite you to turn in your Bibles to John chapter 10. John chapter 10. So it's about 2/3 of the way into the Bible. We'll also have all the sermon notes, have the scriptures on there, so the scriptures that we'll be reading are on there. Sermon notes are being handed out there just for your help. If it works for you to use them, great. If not, that's okay. Will not hurt my feelings unless you insult me and put it in the offering plate. Afterwards, that would be hard. But you guys don't do that, so I'm grateful for that. I want to invite Hannah and Isaac to come up. They're going to be sharing. They're leaving shortly, right after church day. They're going to be heading up to a wedding. They'll come back down, and then next week they are flying out to rejoin their team. So they're going to share with you kind of what is going on and where they're going and why they're leaving us. Aw, sad.
Should I use this one?
The yellow.
All right, good morning. I'm going to let my wife speak first, so that'll be fun.
Good morning. For those of you who don't receive our emails, we're going to be heading to Japan on January 5th. We will be meeting a team of 13 of us in total who will be staying in Japan from January 5th to February 11th, and we will be doing missionary work there. Now, some of you may be thinking in your head, why would they go to Japan? It's so nice. Everybody goes there for tourist reasons. Well, Japan, although it has a lot of amazing things and it's one of the most amazing cities in the world, well, not cities, areas in the world, it's known for being less than 1% Christian. So in Japan, they don't really have access to a home church, to someone who can tell them about Jesus, or even a Bible. In fact, a lot of missionaries who go there get burnt out really fast because of the lack of access to all of these things. So we want to go and be a part of changing that. And hopefully some of the people we bring will go back there and stay, because we have one student who will be doing that. She plans on staying there for 90 days after we leave and trying to continue in Japan on her own, and connecting with a local church that we will be partnered with in Tokyo that is actually even smaller than this church. They have about 20 members, and they are asking that we come and we share the gospel and hopefully bring in more members for them.
So when we talk about Japan as missionaries, it has a bit of a catchphrase that we have put over the country. Japan is known as a place where missionaries go to die. We have encountered very heavy spiritual atmospheres whenever we've tried to enter into Japan with long-term missionaries. Some of those spiritual areas that we'll run into as a team will be feeling alone, depressed, and tired. And so if you could really just be joining with us in prayer, that would be amazing. We know that the enemy is doing his work there, and we want to see a change and see a revival. Currently, the largest revival in Japan, I believe, was 15 people. So we want to see 20, and then 25, and then 30. Please be praying for us. We leave January 5th and we'll be there till February 11th. And then that will be the end of our full-term missions in Mexico. And we will start our full-time missions in Idaho in March. So please be praying for us. And thank you so much for supporting us.
Also, those of you who know Daniel Hins, he's going to be joining us on January 5th to travel to there. So you can be praying for him too, as well as our other team members. We have 3 who can't fly with us through the States. One's Nepali and 2 are Latino, so they cannot fly through the States, so they will be flying through Mexico. So an extra prayer for them, because they're all flying on their own, 2 of them for the first time, so it should be interesting.
Thank you so much.
I'm sure people might have questions. One is, if you don't know, Hannah's pregnant with the first grandchild. So, Hannah and Isaac are pregnant. He's working on that to make sure she feels good about it. But it is safe to fly this time, and so if you have questions about that, they've already looked into it and met with the doctors. One question that comes up is you talked about how we can pray, but also what sustains you guys? You've been teaching this for the last year. You thought things were going to go through a year ago where you're going to be going to Malaysia and other places, and then that didn't go, and then had some time off, but then now preparing, leading, and I've been there on the base and seen like your schedule, and there's a lot that you do. And so what are ways that just as we get to the end of the year and we talk about how we plan to go into this next year, what are things that you guys have adapted in your life or brought into your life that really help you stay focused on the Lord and growing in your own life? Because teaching is one thing, but growing and having that independent relationship is another.
Yeah, for me, definitely having a daily, it's almost like a schedule with God. I know that sounds silly, but if you don't start by scheduling time with God, you'll never get into the habit of wanting to do it, if that makes sense. So for me, I spend 30 minutes, 10 of those minutes, I'm reading the Bible or listening to it. And then the other 10, I'm talking to God through prayer or through just telling him about my week, because he wants to hear like how I'm feeling, even though he already knows. And then the other 10 minutes, I'm just listening. And I'm really trying to clear my mind and just allow God to speak. And for a lot of us in this era of time, that's really hard because there's so many distractions. So sometimes I just go on a walk and I just focus on a point in the walk, and I just am like, okay, God, I'm going to clear my mind, and if you speak, I'm listening, I'm here. And I just spend that time waiting on him. And honestly, for me, if I don't do that, I'm kind of grumpy and a little mean. So for me, it's really, really important to maintain that habit, because that daily dependency on God really grows me as a person.
I think for me, what sustains me, especially for the last 2.5 years in Mexico, I would say is just knowing that I'm in the right place. A lot of the times, like when we choose a job or we choose like the next step or path in our life, we can do it with God and with his blessing, or we can do it with our own wisdom and own blessing. And for me, going to Mexico and being down there a part of missions for the last 2.5 years, I knew I was with God. So it's like every single thing that I would run into on a daily basis, I already knew that it's like, okay, I'm going to continue because I know that's where he has me. And so it's like anything that would come up, anything that discourages me, schools falling through, students leaving, it doesn't change me knowing that I'm in the right place with the Lord and he has me where he wants me. So